Hey now, what's going on everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and we've reached the end of the trilogy, unfortunately. Back to the Future Part 3 is a 1990 film that is obviously directed by Robert Zemeckis. And the plot this time around is we continue from the craziness that was Back to the Future Part 2, where Marty somehow, some way ended up stuck again in 1955. And him and Doc Brown are trying to figure out, what can we do next? How can we get this kid back to where he belongs? And we found out at the end of the last movie also that Doc Brown, the present day Doc Brown, got trapped in 1885. But he's happy. He seems happy. He's willing to live his life like that. Until Marty finds out that he is killed back in that time by Mad Dog Tannen. So Marty ends up going back to 1885 to the Wild West to save his friend. Now, what I think of Back to the Future Part 3 is, I really enjoy this film. I do. I know a lot of people look at Part 3 as the bastard child of the trilogy, or some people just think it's the worst of the trilogy. And in that sense, I guess I agree, to the point where it's just, look at the first two films. They're so great. It's a testament to the first two movies on how great they are, that you could say Part 3 is the weakest, but I don't think that means it's bad. Me personally, I still think that there's a lot of fun to be had with this film. Obviously, Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly. He's very comical. He's very funny. I love watching him. I mean, the whole series. The ongoing back and forth joke between him and Doc Brown, when he says this is heavy and Doc Brown doesn't quite understand it. Well, this time around, Doc Brown says this is heavy. I found that hilarious. And Michael J. Fox was able to stretch out his acting ability once again, like in the second film, because this time he plays Seamus McFly, his great ancestor, which was cool and interesting. But also you have Leah Thompson, obviously, who plays Lorraine, his mom, and their relationship got a little awkward in the first movie. But here she's playing the wife of Seamus McFly, and that's interesting, just seeing them as a couple when I know her to be his mom. And it's just like, yeah, well, it was still worth it and cool to see her in the film. Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown. Obviously, I like Doc Brown so much. He's very goofy, but you still buy him as the smart, intelligent guy that he is, albeit a little weird. I love the fact that this movie took the time to be more about him, or to give him a character arc, to give him a love interest. It's something that I almost didn't think about. How come he's not married? How come he doesn't have a woman in his life? Until this movie, and you go like, oh yeah, why the hell not? If we're going to have a character go through this, it's very refreshing to make it the older character. He ends up with Mary Steenburgen, who plays Clara. Every time I see this actress, even today, I think of her as Doc Brown's future wife. I can't help it. Tom Wilkinson plays Mad Dog Tannen, and I also liked him in this movie. Sure, we know and love him as Biff throughout the whole films, but this time he too got to play somebody different. A real evil type of villain. He was kind of evil in the second movie as well in parts, but this film, he's a cowboy. He has a gang with him. He is killing. He's willing to kill. He's out for blood a lot of the times. And as evil as he can be, the scene where he first runs into Marty McFly and they're in that bar, and the scene where he's shooting at his feet and telling him to dance, and Marty starts almost moonwalking and doing the Michael Jackson dance, like that makes me laugh every single time. But again, it's dark. They chase him and they strap him with the rope, almost hang him to death. I'm like, this is PG, guys. PG, and we're watching Marty McFly get hung in the middle of the town. I should talk a little bit about the Wild West setting. Some people, maybe the main reason why they don't like this film is because it is in the Old West, and some people can't get into Westerns. It's not their thing. I understand that. I think I used to be like that when I was a kid, so maybe when I was younger I would have said similar things about this film. But I think now I can either appreciate a Western setting more, or if a Western is good, if it has good writing and characters I can still get into it. Like in this film, there's just something very surreal about seeing the DeLorean in the Wild West in a chase scene with horses, or at the end of the film. I mean, there's some great action in this movie also, some great chase scenes, like at the end of the movie where they have to use the train in order to power the DeLorean to get up to the speed it has to go. That whole sequence, I think, is very fun, very suspenseful, a lot of just great action, I think, throughout this whole movie. And last but not least, I want to talk about Elizabeth Shue as the girlfriend, because I was a little bit down on her in the second film. I know, I like Elizabeth Shue. I do. I think she's a good actress. My main thing with her, I guess, is not only did they write the girlfriend poorly in the second and third film, I mean, she's barely relevant in the third movie, but it's just, I like the first movie so much that I think of Claudia Wells too much as the girlfriend. So when they change it, that usually happens in the sequel, when they change one of the characters, I just get a little bit off-putted by it. I just kind of have a little resentment towards the new actor or actress, and it's not really their fault. Even at the end of this film, when Marty ends up back with her, and I'm like, she's been asleep on this porch the whole time? The whole time. She missed the whole adventure. However, I do love the end of this film. It's such a great, nice, happy ending, a bookend for the trilogy. I couldn't have asked for a better trilogy for the Back to the Future. I love these movies. I do. I love them all. Good job, Robert Zemeckis. Please, please do not remake it. No! Please. God, I can't take a Back to the Future remake. I really can't. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Back to the Future Part 3? Do you dislike it? Or do you think it's not that bad? Also, let me know if you want to see a remake to this beloved franchise, because I sure don't. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!